Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you from a derelict of civilization in an undisclosed location to show you what could become of our nation if we allow our power grid to go into cremation. Yeah, okay, that sounds funny, but it's really not funny. So, I just did a video, check the link above, to see about the two power grids that went down, or actually the power grid that went down and took out two countries in Argentina and Uruguay, with parts of Paraguay and Brazil. Perhaps up to 50 million people were out of power, and they're still looking at that. I'm going to discuss that, but for that I'm going to say it's broader, it's bigger. The situation with our grids has a lot going on today. Vladimir Putin is accusing the United States of hacking the Russian grids, and whether or not he's insinuating that we're actually taking parts down, I don't know that, but now it is a case that we do know that they have, or at least it's claimed, that the Russians have hacked into our grid, and maybe the Chinese and perhaps some others. That's not a good situation, especially with all the tensions we have in the world today. We do not want a WAR of power grids. We do not want to see a situation where we're fighting over that kind of stuff. You know, I'm gonna have to choose my words carefully to keep the robots from smacking me in the face, or pardon me. But the situation, my friends, is that we have a lot of tension in the world right now. Particularly with the nation of Iran, and we do know that they have sleeper cells in the United States, and it was pointed out to the head of their Revolutionary Guard, excuse me, that our entire power grid could be taken down by taking down 9 critical substations. Just 9. There's 9 critical ones that could take it down. Now, we're not going to try to speculate what substations that is, but when this was pointed out to him, his response was, I've already got 20 targeted. And we know they have sleeper cells in this country. They admit it, so that's not a secret. Who they are, where they are, and only 2-man cells could do the job, my friends. We've already seen, and I've reported in previous videos, on the ballistic attacks that took place in the Metcalf station near San Jose, California. That kind of attack could do the job. So the real threat is what happens if the high voltage power transformers get taken out. These things are 200 to 400 tons. They're as large as a house. If you order them, it takes, in the time you order it takes 18 months to have it sitting on the dock. Then you got to install it. Well, how do you order and install these things if their whole grids are down everywhere? Because our method of ordering, our money, and everything is tied up in our power system. So, and you know, if all the people that are supposed to be putting this thing in place are all at home worried about their families and so forth, you're not going to have much of a workforce if we have a population left, because 18 months, that's a half year longer than the 1 year that the Congressional Commission on the Power Grid estimated would be needed to take out 9 out of 10 people in this country. 9/10 of the people. And if you watch my other videos about why farmers will starve to death on the farm and why preppers will die, you will see that it could be a lot worse than what they've estimated. And also I've done a video about the fragility of our civilization. These are all key things to watch because they give you a better sweep, a better concept for what all is involved, plus all of my power grid videos. Now, every time we lose a grid, it's a shot across the bow. And maybe right now we're lucky because these are warning shots that give us time to pause and reflect that these things can happen and that we've got to take action to protect our grid. Now, so what happened in Argentina? What happened in Paraguay? I've got a list of things here I want to read from and kind of give you some quotes, because these quotes are interesting. And what it looks like is, for one, they had 2 dams that had more power to them because it had so much water, and maybe their load shedding system didn't work right. So they may have had an overage of power that they had to deal with, and their systems just may not have functioned properly. It's also a case that they may have been hacked. There may have been other things that may have happened. It could have been a dry run. They don't know precisely, and they admit that. So what I'm about to say is mostly speculation. They claim they'll tell us in about 10 days what really took place, but we're already getting some political answers out of them, so, you know, buyer beware. Here's what they've said. Oh, by the way, So the assessment is that 2 of their 500,000 volt power lines went down. Yeah, 2 of them. 500,000 volt. That's the large high power lines that require the kind of transformers I was talking about to step the voltage up and step it back down. Now, fortunately, those transformers didn't go out for them, so within 14 hours, most of the country had power restored. That's very good. If those had went down, it would be a very much different picture. In a country like the United States, if we lost all those, we would be in grave shape, very grave shape. And an EMP, a CME, there's common cause failures, it could take them all out. And if hackers were to, say, cause load to burn these things out, which might be one of their objectives, then yeah, we'd be in really bad shape. There's other things they could do, but if that's their target, then the situation would be sad. Now, so this is a quote I'm going to give you. I can only tell you that it is an event that no one could imagine would happen, given that there are multiple resources to avoid it, says Paul Lastra, an electrical engineer at the National University at La Plata. Okay, pardon me if in this video I murder these names of the cities, the people. I'm not a Spanish-speaking person. I'll do the best I can, so please pardon me in advance. No one could imagine. I love it. Oh, you always hear that. No one can imagine. We had all this redundancy. Well, guess what, guys? I am an avionics safety engineer working on rockets. And I'm here to tell you that you can have multiple systems to keep things from happening. And sometimes all the holes in the Swiss cheese just line up and things go boom. You ever seen a rocket go boom? Never happens, does it? Yes, it happens, and it happens a lot. It shouldn't happen. It's not designed to happen. We got all these safeguards to keep it from happening, but just watch the videos. Rockets go boom. They always have, and they always will. And that's Allison's Laws of Rockets. I'll be covering that on Green Greg's, my sister channel. Anyway, so it does seem that a short circuit disconnected one of these 500 volt to kilovolt lines that runs from the city of Colonial Ela to Belgrano, which is the neighborhood of Buenos Aires. Again, forgive me if I murder the names. And on top of that, it appears at the same time, an automated system disconnected another 500 kilovolt line from Mercedes to Colonial Ela. And it's that second cause that remains under investigation. Maybe the first time, maybe they just had a tree limb hit the power line. You know, in the United States that happened in 2003 and put the same number, about 50 million people out of power in the Northeast and parts of Canada. Maybe that's what happened. Or why? 2 different things happened at the same time? Well, it could have been part of the load shedding system they had. They call it the DEG there in Argentina. And it could have been that. Or it could have been other things. It could have been hacking. So we don't really know for a fact. And the head of their, let's see what this guy says here. The Argentine Energy Secretary, Gustav, well, let's see. I'm not even going to try his name. Just say the Argentine Energy Secretary said there is 0 chance that this will repeat itself. 0 chance. It can't repeat itself. That's what he says. Let me tell you something. 0. That's a number you're not going to hear from an engineer or a scientist who understands probability and also understands failure modes. But 0 is a political answer. So when you're getting political answers, you know you're already getting papered over, my friends. So, but the same guy told us that he didn't rule out the possibility of a cyber attack, and the precise cause was yet to be determined. So excuse me, you don't know the precise cause. It could have been this or it could have been that, but the probability of it happening again is 0. Big goose egg, 0. Yeah, right. So they're already posturing. So whatever final report comes out is highly likely to be doctored. It's highly interesting that it happened during an election. I don't know what kind of effect that may or may not have had, but and this could have all been natural, just a couple of natural circumstances and the systems didn't work right. The holes in the Swiss cheese lined up because those things happen and it went down. As I mentioned, we're fortunate that it didn't fry out those big high voltage transformers. And this is a warning shot to us that we should heed and pay attention to, because as I've pointed out in my previous video and in other videos, there are several root causes that can bring down the power grids. and the results can be absolutely catastrophic. So let's pay heed, pay attention. In my videos, I talk about what you can do to prepare yourself, to prepare your family, and to help our nation and the world to avoid this in the first place. And that's the real answer. There are things that you can do, how you can get involved. Check my links, watch my videos. I go into all that. Please click subscribe to my channel. Bang on the bell for update notifications. And support my channel. Click the links below. If the power grid goes down, you need to be able to prepare for yourselves. You need to be able to grow your own food and be able to fertilize your garden without having to go to the stores, which won't be open. You won't be able to go there and get anything. So worms will be a good thing to have. I sell worms from my website. Link below. Also, you may want to prep. Food prices are about to really skyrocket. I've done a video on that. So look at my Patriot Supply below. This is a good time to start buying prepping supplies. And it's also a good time to start your skills in gardening. So do check out True Leaf Market with all the gardening resources they have. The heirloom seeds. Heirloom seeds is the kind you can plant and replant seeds from. That's what you need. And so check out these links. And let's hope that we get this issue resolved. And let's hope that we have the fortitude to get this country to do what it needs to do to protect its grid and other countries around the world, so that we don't have to face these things. Anyway, my friends, thank you for watching.